Oh my God, Jake is right as science. But please let me explain. Objective measurements you make yourself as a basis of science. If you don't make them, you're not in science. But let me explain Jake's method of measurement so you understand it. Let's say you have, for instance, a 7-diopter prescription. Okay, is it accurate? Is it not accurate? You really have no clue at all. The way you can check this is Jake's cm measurements, or centimeter measurement distance. Here is a centimeter scale, and I've chosen 25 centimeters. The inverse of 25 centimeters is 4 diopters, or minus 4 diopters. Thus, in order to look from infinity to 10 inches or 25 centimeters, you must experience a change of minus 4 diopters in your accommodation system if you have 20/20. Okay, now, what Jake's method is this. Let's see if I can describe it accurately. You take your reading, I put it up there, push it away until it just blurs. At what distance does it just blur? If you find, well, it's just blurring and becomes clear at 25 centimeters, then your refraction is approximately minus 4 diopters. If you have an 8-diopter prescription, you're overprescribed by 4 diopters. Let's relate that to what goes in an office. If you walk in an office, a child, the doctor expects that you're demanding 20/10 vision. He doesn't discuss anything else. So he sits you on a chair and starts putting up minus lenses until you can read the 20/10 line or vision better. This means you're automatically being overprescribed by at least 1, if not 2 and 3 diopters. Automatically. No questions asked. You don't check. This is the reason you have 8-diopter myopter people, because of what they did to you when you're at 20/40. That is science. That is the fact. That is the truth. However, it is obviously equally difficult to get a person to understand that he doesn't want 20/10 vision, and he needs to look at a Snellen, and he needs to pass the 20/40 line all the time while in high school and college. If he doesn't understand that, he's going to lose his vision at a steady rate. I mean, change of refractive state. All this, of course, means nothing in optometry. I mean, absolutely nothing. All your concerns about your visual welfare means nothing in optometry. They're not concerned. So, you got a minus 4 measured this way. Okay, Jake has gotten out of minus 4. I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he passes the required DMV line, which would be my major goal. So let's move this forward to a situation where your child's received a minus 2, and you don't know what's going on, and you don't want your 10-year-old kid to lose his vision permanently. Well, if he starts wearing a minus lens, and he's overprescribed, meaning 20/10 vision, he's going to lose his vision. I mean, normal eye going down at a steady rate, and the minus lens just accelerates that incredibly. So you see me measuring my own refractive state. I just gave up on optometry. They're never going to help. But it does put a lot of responsibility on you. So how does the Snellen work, assuming you look at it? Well, if you don't have one up and you don't mark it, you're not going to know what's going on. And you're right back to the same situation of a kid who's put on a minus 3 diopter when he has 20/40 vision or 20/50. It's a terrible situation. This is not a matter of no longer sharing responsibility with an optometrist because he doesn't care. It's about you being smart enough and motivated enough to start with prevention when you're 20/40 and learning more as much as possible. I will post remarks by people who have been overprescribed and managed to pass the DMV, a most critical point. I wish they didn't have the mania of overprescribing people, but it's standard practice. So you see me checking some things using a simple dial vision. What I'm looking for is to see if my retina is good, meaning I have 20/20 with a dial vision that confirms 20/20, but I need to Snellen up and I need to know what I'm doing. Assuming that you've done what Bates is doing or Jake is doing, and you're getting to, say, 80 centimeters. Now you can't really get good at measurements using the centimeter measurement system. Now you need to have that Snellen up, lines marked in big letters so you can read them at 20 feet, so you know which line you're reading. And for me, personally, I would start wearing a plus at that point. It would have to be a weak plus, because as your vision improves, you can go to a stronger plus. All this means long-term plus wear. I don't kid you about that one. As a matter of fact, I've said it too many times. The bifocal, the plus study shows how critical it is that you wear the plus, or convince yourself to wear the plus when you're 20/50 or 20/60. So going from CM to your Snellen is critical if you're going to have complete success with Jake's method. And there is, after all, an absolute standard I must pass. It's not the 20/20 line, it is the 20/40 line. That means a bright light on the Snellen. It means I'm standing at 20 feet. And it means I'm personally confirming I read the 20/40 line with both eyes open. I should check each eye separately, but the legal requirement is with both eyes open. Assuming you get there, at least from my book, science book, you got to keep on wearing the plus and do better than 20/40. I think this terrible mess is due to that overprescribed minus. It's no doubt due to the child's habit of doing this. If we all read it at 50 centimeters, we probably wouldn't get into about age 13 or 14. But that's not what kids are doing. They're reading at 4 inches and 3 inches. I'll let you be the judge of that one. But parents won't pry their kid's head off the page. They say, oh, isn't that cute? Your kid's going to lose his vision. The optometrist will say, we don't know what to do. So you're left with science, objective measurements, and I can only hope you're following Jake's method and get to the point where you're at 80 centimeters and can switch to a Snellen and have a lot of fortitude. If the plus were used properly at 20/40, no one would be significantly nearsighted. But it takes intelligence, and it doesn't take long-term continuous motivation. And that's the real problem. Enjoy the video and enjoy Jake's site. It's extensive. He's right. Remember, I don't attack the man in his office. I stay out of his office. I attack the concepts he's using, which is a terrible mistake. And we'll talk about that later. Thanks.